work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work, work. There you go.
Forward.
Hard work, hard work, hard work.
Fall in.
Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome to E2G Sports Networks presents First Formation Morning Sports Talk. You know who it is. It's me, your boy Trey, and glad to be here with y'all this morning. This Friday is the weekend, in the first week of the new year. I hope your new year is going great. I hope you are leading the assault on what is your all the things in which you plan to change for the new year. So I'm glad to be here. Everything's going right. Lead off the year, of course. The most interesting thing that we had that has been in the news lately is the Damar Hamlin situation, which we're definitely going to get to at some point when we get into our NFL topics and talk. So just sit back for the time that we have together and let's get to this. So come on and fall in. So first and foremost, taking a look at this NBA, a lot to be said when you look at it for the most part, especially when you look at how these teams are doing of late. There was only 3 games last night. 3 games that would happen last night. Additionally, 11 that happened tonight. So I guess you could say things are in full swing. We're already almost at the beginning of the already at the halfway part, which, you know, in the NBA sector, the halfway mark is basically a chill day for some of the players, as we have the NBA All-Star game, which all the NBA top players that are voted go to a specific designated area to partake in a game, some in certain ports in the game, other game, little miniature games, and get that in. So that's coming up, of course, close to the halfway part in a post part in which now, yesterday, the leaders from the fan vote for said game have been announced, in which we'll get to that shortly. So we'll get to that shortly, real quick. But I want to talk about something right quick, right? So in the NBA, we all know, and it's something I came across some of the words from Kevin Durant. He sat down and did an interview with ESPN, in which it was some questions asked to him, and it was something that was understood and known, but didn't really resonate until I read it. So, of course, in his conversation, Kevin Durant was talking about spoke about the fans, right? And engaging and talking about the fans. What he spoke about is a simple fact of how fans. It was a question asked to him. One question asked to him was in reference to, is there a need for all the extra, or is there anything wrong, or does a model need to be changed in reference to the regular season? So with that being said, it's like, okay, and it doesn't need to be improved. That was the question. Does the regular season need to be improved? Of course, Kevin Durant's response was improve. Like, why improve? And of course, it comes out to is like, why do you need to improve it? He's like, he feels like the NBA is in a great place right now, and all the things that are being done are exactly what needs to be. There's no need for perfection at this point, in this opinion. And then, so of course, it starts to go into that comes from the fans wanting to have some type of engagement or be a part of things and all that type of stuff. He basically alluded to the fans shouldn't have any days off at this point. It's like fans is games played every night. What's good, Coach Hunter? How you doing this morning? Glad to see you in formation with his brother. So he talked about how there shouldn't be any nights off for fans because basically a fan doesn't have any. There's games played every night. He talked about free agency. Like, does free agency need to be improved? And of course, his response was free agency does not be improved. He's like, honestly, and for the most part, there's only one thing that really matters in basketball. And he's like, the only thing that matters is the game to be played. It's like at in-state is there's no need for it's like the free agency, the off-season stuff, and all that type of stuff that's being elevated and being seen and talked about. It only is for the fan and their entertainment to build upon. Let's see, and that's what. And we're gonna get to this, Coach. So true that he does have to look at it from a fan's perspective. What's good, Mike? What's going on, brother? Appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to go. Day of the Roku. Let's go. The 6 is up. So appreciate it, Mike. So when we're looking at this and going back to what you were saying, Coach Uriah, true enough, a fans can only pay to see one game or see a certain amount of games, or even that when they're paying to see these games, they're probably most likely in the rafters or in the high ups because the tickets can be pretty pricey at times. So in the case of the fan, yes, and I'm there with you in that aspect, Coach. Like when it comes down to the point to where if I'm paying to see Brooklyn coming to, if I'm paying specifically to see, because I'm in New Orleans, I'm the closest team to me is the New Orleans Pelicans or the Houston Rockets, depending on which way I plan to drive. 4 hours one way, 3 hours one another. So if I plan to see any of that, most likely it's specific to me seeing a specific team, unless I'm just pulling up to a game and I'm just going to take what I can get. So if I'm going to see, specifically going to see a Pelicans versus Brooklyn game, which I think is actually going on. I don't know if they're in Brooklyn or they're in Pelicans, but they play legitly play. I think today or tomorrow. Chances are I want to see Zion. I want to see KD. I want to see Kyrie, Ben, all that type of stuff. I'm ready to see these players play. Hence the reason why I'm there. So it puts a little. As a fan, it may put a little reduced dapper on the situation if I'm there and the only thing I get to see is Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, Trey Murphy, and Valanciunas. No, you know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying, might put a little damper on what I'm doing, what I came for. Or you know what I'm saying, additionally, if you somewhere and you don't see anyone, like it makes a difference. Now, if you're just going to games, then you're gonna get what you're gonna get. So, but some of the things in which he said and which made a difference, really put a perspective for me, sir, is our chief is we don't, or the fans, not we, some fans in some particular way do not. What's good, Frat? How you doing, brother? Good morning. Glad to see your information this morning. So what it does is it reduces. I mean, we lose in translation being we lose in translation going to the games because you know they play the game, but they don't. We lose and get lost in the thought of they have to travel. They have to practice. They have to be away from the families and all that type of stuff. And I know that exact statement might bring on, well, they get played well. They get paid well and handsomely for this and all these type of things. But that's some of the things in which Kevin Durant was trying to point out to keep in perspective. It was like, it's like, this is a job for us now. Like, this is entertaining for you, but this is a job for us. We get paid to entertain you, true enough. But in state, this is a job for us, and we have to do extra things in order to be there. So he talked about how the fans and stuff might want it to where they want to see an elite game, an all-out game every night. They want to see their best players go hard in the paint every night. And when they see a player that's not doing that, they feel a certain type of way. Or they talk about him dogging it or him not basically putting forth the best effort. So that was some of the situation in which they was talking about, in which they brought up to say why, saying he's like, this is what you have to take into consideration. Let me see. So no, that's not what I'm saying, Anthony. So I'm saying is that he's saying you might see that sometimes with a player maybe seemingly looking like he's taking a day off, not a day off from not him not playing, but a day off from them doing, going hard. Like, it would be wrong for us to want to see LeBron James, especially at this juncture in his career, to consistently see LeBron James getting 30 to 40 points a night for the sake of being entertained for your fan, for the fan base. He's like, you're going to see sometimes, like, let's just be real, right? LeBron James just had his 38th birthday. On his 38th birthday, he dropped over 40 points. The following night after his 38th birthday, he dropped another 40 points. So the night after, there was a break, and then they played the Miami Heat, in which LeBron James didn't play in that game. And they said it was due to an illness, a non-COVID related illness. Let's be real. It wasn't really related to a non-COVID illness, or was LeBron just tired at this day and age, a 38-year-old that and the energy exerted to put up 40 points or more 2 nights back to back. He might have been a little fatigued, or he might have felt a certain type of way. So they went ahead and say what they had to do and did what they had to do to for him to get the rest. If you play every game, you won't survive in the NBA. Possibly. Well, I don't know. You got some people. I don't know when it was or who was the last person to do it, but I'm very sure it's some 82 game players. I'm gonna have to research that to see who was what big star played 82 games last as we know it. Going back to something Coach Hernan was saying, reduce the regular season to get rid of the back-to-backs, stop the plays from sitting it out and resetting. Reduce the first round of the playoffs back to 5 games series and not a 7-game series. So, and that came up in his interview as well, to where he said all this type of all that, like with the of course now you have the play-in and all these different things, and he talked about how it's just consistently grind. But what we have to keep in perspective in that case, I guess, when speaking on it, was not every team goes to the playoffs. Only 16 out of 14 teams go to the playoffs. So that's not a sustainable. Of course, that may not be sustainable. But Coach, going back to what you was just saying about the reducing the regular season, do we think will that be the most effective? Do you think, or anyone out there, Staten, Anthony, Mike, if you're still out there, do y'all still think that a reduction for these games in the league, like I'm kind of it depends, right? Because in-state is the NBA is a business, right? And it is always said, oh, they make the money and all this type of stuff, billions of dollars. Of the organizations make billions of dollars, or they're worth billions of dollars and stuff like that. That be true. But what we need to keep in perspective is sometimes, yes, the owners make billions of dollars, but that's not always generated by said team. Like, these owners own these facilities and these institutions and these where they're playing at their venues. So they're selling and getting money from different revenue streams for the most part. Now, so it's not saying that, yes, the team is worth, because of inflation, how things go, yes, the team is worth billions of dollars for the most part. But what's going on is the owners are also making money off of different revenue streams when it comes to doing this. So it's not necessary. Yes, the organization, the owners are making billions, but it's not always off said team. So in that case, I think we need to quell that conversation a little bit. But in state is everyone gets paid, everyone's getting a chance. Now, saying the value of how they're doing it might make a difference. What was coaches? What's going on, brother? How you going this morning?
What's going on? WGO, WGO. What's going on? It must be the sick. Oh, I ain't gonna knock him because today it's Roku Day, and I used to be a Roku.
Yes, let's go. ROKU.
Yep. Shouts out to the Rokus, man. Shouts out to the Rose. For sure.
So is Coach Hunter saying this is why the NFL is so much more marketable and the NBA in fully guaranteed contracts. This is why Direct can take an approach. If he had an incentive-based contract off his performance, he will be suffering upon every game. The NBA players are spoiled. So I know you just coming in, Bishop, real quick. I was talking to him in reference to your man's KD. Went through an interview in which he started speaking about it was a question was asked to him, and per that question he answered and started talking about it. Basically got into the fans and how he said like the fans have a perception of players should always be given 100% day in day out or whatever case like that, and that's basically where we are now, which he said that the fans have to take in consideration players have to practice, they have to travel, they have to be away from people. It's long, grueling. The look on your face look like I don't know about that. But
so wait, I guess I'm kind of confused. What's his complaint?
It's not a complaint. He's just saying because one of the questions was asked to him was, do he think that there's more to improve the regular season? And he went on to say, like, no, he's like, improve. He's like, there's nothing to improve. The NBA is in a good place. And he went on to talk about
why are they even asking? Why who asked him that? A reporter or
yeah, it was a reporter. He had to sit down. What's good, Eric? Good morning, brother. Glad to see you.
What up, Eric? What up?
So
why are they even asking? Why are they even asking that though?
It was just a sit down in which he was talking. Okay. It was something that preluded that, and that had him to ask that question. And so when he asked the question, it went into that the fans, that's when KD started saying basically the fans have to quell that the look and thinking of this is what things are. They talked about him and talked about why he didn't have it was Nick Friedel who was an interviewer, who was a writer. It had a situation to where they asked him about why is it that the situation with him asking for a trade didn't go the same way as it went with other organizations. He said, like, you take into consideration, AD asked for a trade when he was in New Orleans. Who else had asked for a trade? Jimmy Butler asked for a trade when he was in Minnesota, and it's like it was different. So KD's response was, when I did it, it was in the off season. He's like, so it was it didn't affect us. He's like, we came in, he's like, situation got resolved. We got into camp and it wasn't an effect. He's like, it wasn't right. It was during the regular season or halfway through the season, midway through the seasons where every time you stick a microphone in one of my teammates' face, the question is, what do you have to say about the situation with Kevin Durant and the organization? He's like, that makes a difference. So he talked about that, and then he went on to talk about the fans, how the fans have to take into consideration that we have a lot going on. It's not just come and play the game. Additionally, he already talked about, well, it was a little, now when you look at it, it's a little bit different because he also spoke and came in and said that fans like the free agency, the postseason, preseason, all that type of stuff, all the things that go around that, the draft and everything like that. He's like, there's only one thing that really makes a difference in the NBA. And he's like, that's the game. He's like, the game being played is the biggest thing. That's the reason for the season. So he's like, all this other stuff with he's like, that's for the fan. And he's like, but the fan needs to keep in the perspective that we got a lot going on. It's not just come to the gym and play. We have to prep. You got to think, do the off season. So I ask you this, Bishop, Coach Uriah, Eric, anyone out there, do you think that the pro-ams and the postseason runs and stuff like that, do you think that's for the love of the game for the player, or do you think it's to keep them sharp when they're off season, or do you think it's a little of both?
I believe it's a little bit of both. I mean, me as a former athlete, I feel like you play the game. Even I tell student athletes now, like even when in off season, there is no true off season. You should be doing anything you can to hone your skills. Whether if you play football, don't just play football. Play basketball, run track. You know what I'm saying? Do something other than that, even though it's not maybe your favorite sport. And when I was coming up, I didn't have anyone to tell me that. I if it wasn't football, I wasn't participating. I didn't want to play basketball. I didn't want to do anything else. Just all I want to do was play football. I learned later that running track helped me on the football field. You know what I'm saying? The explosiveness, being able to come out the blocks, things of that nature helps you while you're on the field, between the white lines. So I do feel like that is definitely something is beneficial to the athlete. However, I do understand the market. I understand the business. It's also a benefit to the consumers as well as to the fans. People want to see those avid basketball fans, football fans, things of that nature. That's why it's been such a big thing about trying to create something outside of the NFL. We went to XFL. We have arena football. It's something for the consumers to hold the consumers over and the fans over until the actual season comes back. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, it just hasn't been successful. In the later years, it hasn't been as successful as hasn't been successful in as the NFL, or as like summer league basketball and minor league baseball and stuff like that. It hasn't been as successful as those things. But however, it's there and they're trying. You know what I'm saying? Again, they're trying again this year with the new league that they're about to bring up. So we just gotta see. But I do feel like it's a little bit of both, just like Eric Small says. It's a little bit of both. It helps both entities when it's all said and done, in my opinion.
Yeah, so basically that's what it was saying. And then so I see where like you said, Coach Rod said earlier about some things he's like could be a good plan. Anthony Price says keep them out of games. Just have more days off before the back-to-backs. Of course, there's no way to have more days off for the back-to-backs.
You can't do that because there's too many games. Yeah, it's way too many games. 82, 83?
82 games.
82 games. There's no way you put them in. Go ahead. Didn't they discuss shortening it one time?
Yeah, they discussed dropping it to 72. But I mean, is that 72? Does that really make a difference? What's good, Commissioner Myers? How you doing? Glad to have information with us this morning.
What you mean shortening it to 10 games?
But that probably helps with the back-to-backs, the time with the back-to-backs.
Well, yeah, that would definitely help you with the back-to-back, but it ain't gonna be. Is it that much of? Will it help that much? Because you still, in the long run, it's only 10 games, so it's not going. It may prevent maybe 1 or 2, 3 possibly back-to-backs, but because you're only eliminating 10 games, it ain't like you're eliminating 20, 30 games. You're only eliminating 10, so you still gonna end up doing back-to-backs. You know what I'm saying?
I guess my mindset is like that. I think that is the rhetoric of a fan when we say to it, because it's like, is it really going to make a difference with those in those back to back? So, as from a fan standpoint, it's like, does it really, or do you really need to eliminate any games, or is the back to back really that big of a problem in state? Is especially when you're not playing that much. But I guess you can say it is when you're consistently living, breathing the sport and those games. But it's no different from, is that the same? Would that be the same rhetoric you would take in the major leagues? They play a lot of games, and their games go back to back, and they play the most games in the season than anybody does. So yeah, I don't know what the players pick and choose what they want, what is important to them. If you're playing in a pro-am and picking in
you say pro-am? This ain't 2K. This ain't 2K. Oh, you're right.
No, they have those pro. That's what it is. Like,
no, I know. I'm just messing with it.
Yeah, the 2K. Try getting a pro-am right now. Actually, you 2K pro-am, not an actual.
Oh, I was gonna say you about to go to the pro. I mean, what? Okay. I mean, I know you.
Y'all stop playing with my top. Just wait. Commissioner Maj, you need an NBA pro Al. Commissioner, what's that? Coach Fest, you need a military pro Am. Let's get it. We're coming through. Bishop don't have to play; he can officiate.
And my first thing is to take up Sad.
take him
up, right? Remember what we talked about? Commissioner Myers, I want my first take to be against Trey. I want to be. Let me check him up, baby.
If you hit me up just to get a ride out of me, as soon as I say so, hit me again so you can throw me out the game.
Look at me side eye. I'm taking him up. I'm just letting y'all know I'm taking him up. So let him don't be on your don't have on your
team. Ahead, like man, I even just keep looking straight ahead. We know, when someone go back, just let him go. It's like, hey, say like it's looking like. I remember doing the game. Matter of fact, we was playing together with when I got thrown out that game in April Gym, where the referee was like, he said something. Oh no, I was on the bench. He hit me with a technical, and I was on the bench. And I was like, I'm on the bench now. You can't say nothing. And he looked at me and was like, it threw me out the game. I was like, fam, stop playing with me. But yeah, Commissioner, Commissioner Coach Rice, you probably said you resting in the regular season because the guaranteed contracts. Some programs pay these guys a substantial amount. That's why some play. Good points, Coach Rye. And and it becomes that type of stuff where you no. You say you gonna check me for my socks being too high? it's like that's not
pull your socks down. I'm calling the tech on you. Pull your socks down right now. Pull your socks down.
That's like where is that at? But yeah, so that type of stuff. Coach Rye is a key. That is such a good point. Where it's like, and it brings up like if you're doing it for what are you doing it for, and it comes out. Or it could be you're just doing it for that's the supplemental income, something that you can make on the side. But again, is it for the love or what is it doing it for? And so I can get your point to where you say some players pick and choose what's important to them and what it is, or so going forward. So I can understand that. Good points, all good points, except for that point in which Anthony Price made in state. I'm playing, and and if I get teched up and thrown out, whoever's the sanctioning body for said league in which they allowed Bishop to tech me up and throw me out, I'm sit up and we're gonna have a whole segment, and we're gonna have a whole segment and we're gonna talk about how the atrocities that were put forth towards me in said game by said league, and they allow for such things to go on, and we're gonna sit up and see what we can do about that. Oh my goodness. So of course, like I said, it was 4 games last night. A couple with a bunch of things going on with as it comes to like injuries, and first and foremost to get to that before we get into the games. First and foremost, Spurs, Devin Vaso is expected to be out as he goes through an orthoscopic surgery as he looks to repair his knees. Vaso has been a wind beneath the wings of the Spurs, getting any W's this year, in which he's basically scoring 20 points a game, shooting 40% from 3-point, and just being a lift to that organization. As we know, they have no true stars in that organization. Now he's currently out with going through a knee procedure. He said Luka messed up his fan do parlay. In other games, Pistons center for Marvin Bagley III is going to be out about 6 weeks after he had hand surgery yesterday. He injured his hand earlier in the year, actually towards the end of last year, in which he didn't play the whole month of January. The whole month of December. Now here it is, the first week of January, in which he's getting the surgery to repair his hand. He's going to be out 6 weeks. Additionally, Bishop, you always talking about this. It gets you in every sport. It doesn't make a difference. It seems to be more prevalent in basketball. Hamstring injury is going to get
you every time, boy. That's one of the worst injuries, bro. I swear.
It's going to keep Bradley Beal out for additional week. He was out the first part of this a couple of days in the week of January. Because as he had an injury on Monday, he tried to come back and play last night. He played sparingly and then had to leave the game. Now they're expected to keep him out an additional week as he looks to recover from a hamstring injury. So you have that, and then of course, lastly, on a good note, I guess you could say, Steph Curry is expected to get back with his team after being out. Currently, the team is 11 of 6-5 without him, as he's been out with a shoulder injury. They're getting ready to go back on the road, in which they have the worst away road record in the NBA, and they're about to go on a 6-game road streak. 6-game road tour. So now they expect Curry to possibly come back during that time frame. So Curry probably come back, getting back. Not Curry. Additionally, they're also missing Andrew Wiggins, Moses, Jonathan Kuminga, Jermichael Green, and they're out without them players as well. The latter are going to be looked at over the course of the week. A little bit different when it comes to Andrew Wiggins, as he's going to be looked at a little further down the line, as they don't know his injury is indefinite. So a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, and hopefully we get LeBron back, as he was sick. They said after his back-to-backs. So a lot moving and going on. Going back into the scores last night, 4 games. The first game, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies were hosted by the Orlando Magic. The Orlando Magic getting led by not Jared Jackson. Yeah. Orlando Magic led by 30 points from Paolo Banchero, 9.9 assists, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 22 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists from Franz Wagner, 18.7 rebounds, no assists from Wendell Carter. I'm sorry, I laugh because Wagner, that's what's his name's little brother, bigger brother, and so I sit up and think of myself like, where is the younger Wagner at? But 14.2 rebounds, 1 assist from Terrence Ross, 3 points from Caleb Houston, 2 points from Jalen Suggs. Oh, Jalen Suggs, he's got to do better. He's not even getting any burn, really. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Gary Harris. Markelle Fultz, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. You know what? Going back to his Jalen Suggs, right? In my opinion, Bishop, this is a clear, concise look at maybe when you got that buzz, every buzz ain't a good buzz, right? Like Jalen Suggs came into the college hot stepping because he was the hotness for Gonzaga. They was the best team the majority of the year until they ran into Baylor and got done up, right? And he decides, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the college game and go into the pros, in which now we see him playing 5 minutes a game when he was a highly touted player coming in to the league. When do you think, Bishop, that all players, that the year in college is warranted, or do you think it really depends on the player? Because we see different times where players have been very effective, not even going to college or just doing 1 year in college and going on to have great careers.
See, that's not for everybody though, Trey. Everybody can't do that. Everybody can't be Kobe. Everybody can't be LeBron. Everybody can't be Kevin Garnett. These individuals are rare individuals who's able to come in and do that. Can a year do that for a player? Absolutely, without question. I do feel like that's possible. I feel like that's something that's very easy to do. Not easy to do, but I feel like that's something that can be done. And I think I like it. I actually like it because I feel like a lot of kids, they so young, they feel like they could do what LeBrons and Kobe's and Garnett's did. You can't. It takes a special talent, it takes a special person to be able to do that. And everybody's not that special to be able to do that. It's just whether you choose to believe it or not, that's just the way it is. I'm glad they put that in effect. I'm glad that, that they, implemented that you have to go to college now and do at least, it's a year, right? Or is it 2?
Yeah, you have to be 1 year. You have to go to college, but you have to be one year removed from your your high school
High
or
school.
last game, something like
Okay. Yeah, so I'm all for that, man. I believe that's I enjoy that a great deal. It is what it is. Not saying we will never see it again. I'm sure there will be somebody who doesn't necessarily go to college and comes into the league a year removed from playing high school ball. It's just, that's just a rare thing, man. It's a rare thing. I'm just gonna be completely honest. It's rare. And
this part, what Coach Rye is saying, basically he's saying that there maybe it's the institution needs to have some buy-in on this, as well as some institutions aren't prepping their players correctly for college.
right.
Like he's saying, you can't remember the last star from Gonzaga.
Yeah.
It was pretty accurate. That is saying like it comes down and no difference. That's almost like saying in football, the proper star. Well, no, that's a little bit different in football.
Right.
That's a little different in football. But yeah, saying that these colleges aren't prepping these players for the game, because now, of course, we know the next person in Gonzaga, Chet Holmgren, he's injured, so we didn't get a chance to see what he could have been this year. We have to wait for a year to see that. So it remains to be seen.
Right. Yeah, and you're right. I feel like if these coaches prepare these student athletes better for the league, I feel like it'll be we have more of a we'll have better players coming into the league. Not saying they're not coming into the league good or anything like that, but I just think there's steps to this. You know what I'm saying? There's steps to this. You just, like I said, it takes a special type of person, a special mold for an individual to come straight from high school and go straight into the NBA or into the pros, period. It's a special type of person. And for you to be able to do that, like I said, it's rare. But we know it can be done. It has been done. However, when it's all said and done, I think preparing these young student athletes prior to coming in the league, it helps. I just totally believe that it helps.
Mm-hmm. So a few minutes ago, you'll just see a game in which Bishop had won a few games. We'll get to that in a second. For the Grizzlies, 32 points, Ja Morant, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists from Tyus Jones, 11.6 rebounds, 6 assists, Dylan Brooks, Jared Jackson, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist to go along with Ja's 32. 16 points, 1 rebound, Zaire Williams, as they the Memphis Grizzlies win 123-115, improving to 25-13 on the year. 14-25 is where the Orlando Magic drop in going for this current season. Next game up, of course, the Celtics and the Mavericks, as we just seen earlier. Anthony said Luka messed up his FanDuel parlay. What parlays do you have going on, Anthony? In which Boston Rex shot 29-point smacking, in which Jason Tatum 29 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 29-point triple-double. Jaylen Brown, 19.7 rebounds, 3 assists, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists from Marcus Smart, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists from Grant Williams, Derek Williams, 10 points with assists to go along with that, 15 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists from Malcolm Brogdon, and 5 points from Sam Hauser, 4 from Kernet, and 2 from Pritchard. The Mavericks, Luka Doncic, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists to lead his team. 12 points, 12 rebounds from Christian Wood with the 1 assist. 18 points, 1 rebound, 5 assists from Spencer Dinwiddie. Dwight Powell, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Jaden Hardy, and 2 points from Wright, 3 points from Pinson, and 2 points from Kemba Walker. I think it's a situation, Bishop, where we just seen where Boston got handled by Oklahoma City,
Right.
and then you come back around and you step up to your competition. Do you think that's a full assessment? Like, basically, you play different with your competition?
I mean, so the other night when I said something. Good morning, Shay. What's good? What's good? So the other day I said, we always hear that adage that you play to the level of your competition. And I think I said when I think when I said it, I said I think to me I felt like I don't necessarily believe in that. However, I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say how
It kind of shows though. Yeah, it kind of shows like you lose to OKC big, and then you come in and knock off Dallas, who's been playing phenomenal ball recently, and you knock Dallas off. So it's like I don't know, man. I guess there is some truth in that. It's just I don't know. I don't know. I guess so. To me, I guess my question to you is that do you take teams for granted? And when you go into the game, is your mindset that okay, this is a garbage team, we finna beat these teams?
Yeah, I think that's more the case. Like against
USC, I'm very sure we took Tulane for granted and just thinking, okay, we just gonna get
the Green Waves. Shout out to the Green Waves. Shout out to the Green Waves.
No, you didn't.
Shout out to the Green Waves. No, and you know why I say that, right? You know why I say that, right? Because the Green Waves is a team that we play almost every season. Oklahoma does. We play them like that's our first game on our schedule almost every single season.
Tulane. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a team we play almost every season. And so for y'all to lose, and this is the thing, Caleb Williams has played against him while he was in Oklahoma. Like for real, him and Lincoln. So you know what that team. That's why it bothers me so much about them, about y'all losing to them, because Lincoln Riley has seen the Green Wave numerous times. So Caleb Williams have seen him at least once or twice. So it's like,
we gotta fix our defense. That's what
it is. Y'all losing to the Green Waves? Really? Like that right there was like, bruh, that was shocking to me. I ain't gonna lie, that was quite shocking.
You and the rest of the United world.
So I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, like you say, I mean, like when it's all said and done, again, I guess there is some truth about you play to the level of the talent in which you face. So I guess there is some truth behind it. I don't know, bro. For me, Boston, but you say Boston, you had Boston in that lineup the other day over as the team coming out the East. When we talked about the teams coming out the East, you had Boston in there, and last night's game against them showed why you had them in coming out the East.
Yeah, and as much as I hate to say it, we gotta keep them at bay. We can't let them be the one to break the tie.
Yeah. Blake Griffin's in Boston now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He left Brooklyn.
Oh, I didn't even know he was in Boston. He ain't getting
so now, of course, two other games last night. The Clippers were in Denver. Denver took care of business, winning 122-191. With that win, they keep their top spot, 25-13. Clippers aren't too far behind, 21-19, 2 games above 500 currently. For the Clippers, leading scorer, 12 points. 13 points was the leading score. Norman Powell, 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 12 points, 10 rebounds from Moses Brown in a double-double. Kawhi Leonard, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 18 minutes to play. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists for Terrence Mann. Luke Kennard, 4 points, 2 rebounds. It just seems like it just seems like it was one of those nights where everything.
The finish. That was a hell of a finish, bro. Like that was a hell.
okay, Bone. Okay, Bone. See,
look at his face.
With that Bones nodding, Nashawn Bones nodding, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on his night of playing that shot. That was it's some English on that. 13.7 rebounds, 3 assists from Eric Gordon, Kenneth KCP, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Jamal Murray. Kankar, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, 13 points from Zeke Naji. Who else? Nikola Jokic, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists from Aaron Gordon and Michael Porter Jr., 10 points, 5 rebounds, and no assists. As it seems like both teams was kind of like it would think it was seemingly it was evenly matched, but of course only 3 players in double digits for the Clippers. The Nuggets had 8 players in double digits. I guess that makes a whole lot of a difference, especially when everyone is scoring. Like I said, the Nuggets take the L. I mean, get the W, 122, 191. I'm there for it. It gives us an opportunity to catch.
Ooh, the Nuggets is not playing, huh? Bruh, the Nuggets ain't is they the real deal? Is the Nuggets trying to come out?
I don't
the
know.
West,
I'm not gonna say that yet.
Bro, is the Nuggets trying to come out the West, bro?
I don't see that.
Ugh. Who is that? Ugh. Now look at Joker. He like, I see you. I see you. The Nuggets trying to nice. The Nuggets trying to come out the West, bro. Wow.
So then lastly, the final game of last night, Utah and the Rockets, a game in which we seen Lauri Markkanen be the latest addition to the 40-point club as he goes for 49 last night, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists from Jordan Clarkson, 19 points from Malik Beasley, 11 points from Ochai Agbaji. What's his Agbaji? Baji, I'm sorry. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist from Walker Kessler, 5.6 rebounds, 2 assists from Rudy Gay, Tyler Horton Tucker, 4 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk, 2 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. For the Rockets, 2 players in double. 2 players equal that in which Markkanen did. 30 points from Jalen Green, 20 points, 14 rounds, 3 assists from Alpine Seguin, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists from Kevin Porter Jr. Kenyon Martin contributed with 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists from Jason Tate, and 12 points from Eric Gordon in the loss. As it seemed like the Rockets only held the lead in 1 quarter, and that was in the third quarter, late in the third quarter, in which it was a short time in which just after they got the lead, Jordan Clarkson go down and hits a 3-pointer that basically puts them back up, and then at that point they just went on various runs to keep the pace and keep the distance between them. In which they just started. They told Lauri Markkanen to go for 50. He's like, get 50, put up a 50 burger. In which he said he tried. One of the things in which the coach Steven Silas said is that you can't send a player that is clicking to the line, in which they sent Markkanen to the line 13 times, in which he knocked down 13 shots. He was 6 foot. He had 6. He made 6 3-pointers. So that alone is enough. Like that, 18 points and then 13 off. 18 points from the 3-point line, and then 13 points from the free throw. He was down to have a great night, in which he drops 49 points in this night, in the one night. So, yep, that's how the ball bounces, evidently. So with that, the Rockets go to 10-29 on the season. The Jazz 20-21 in their aspect, and like Bishop was saying, is Denver the one to come out the West? I don't know. Are they? Denver currently, because with both them and Grizzlies winning last night, are both tied at the top of the West at 25-13. But even with that, at 20-21, the Utah Jazz are currently a 10th seed and 6.5 games back. So it remains to be seen how that's going to go. Of course, Boston continues to lead the East in their endeavors, 27-12 with a game-and-a-half lead over the Bucks and the Nets. With the Nets losing the other night, they fall the game behind the Bucks. But like I said, both of them tied. A half game apiece separates them from
the Nets lost when?
They lost. When did the Nets? Yeah, they lost the other night. They got their the record. The streak got broken. They lost to Chicago.
What night was this? That must have been last night. The night before?
Yeah.
Not last night, but the night before. Oh, we lost to the Bulls. Yeah. Wednesday. Lost to the Bulls. Damn, they was on a 12-game winning streak. That was the longest streak they had since in 17 years. The last time they had, I think they was at 14 games in 2006. 17 years that they was at a 14-game winning streak.
You know what, Coach Wayne, you bring up a good point. I retract that statement. Sabonis is hella good, and he's from Gonzaga. Suggs, I don't know. Nebhart, he's starting to look good. Hachimura.
And then Chet
and then Chet, like I said, we didn't get a chance to see Chet.
We didn't see Chet yet, but yeah.
But definitely Sabonis, without a doubt.
Without question, yeah. Sabonis, he can definitely fall in that category. This is something I wanted to bring up, Trey. This brought up a great deal of controversy yesterday. And I don't know if you chimed in, but I know I had a few people chime in yesterday into this on this matter.
Is it that trash thing that I seen Ron post?
It might be, but let's
that
talk
thing was
about
trash. It. Hell no.
Let's talk about it.
Hell no. The audacity.
Hell
no.
Let's talk about it.
Nah.
Let's talk
agree with that team.
Let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. Let's do something real quick. I don't like how it shows like that. So let's do this. Oops, I didn't mean to do it like that. Let's do this right here. Let's do that like that. We're gonna do that like that. And let's do this like this. Let's do this like that. Let's do this like this. Let's do this like that. Let's do this like this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So everybody was like, is this a winning lineup for the 2024? Not this year. Everybody don't get it mistaken. This is only 2023. Don't jump the gun. A lot of things can happen between now and 2024. We got 12 months. Let's pump our brakes. However, this was put out about being the dream team. Anthony Price already saying that bench is weak. We don't even know who the starters are, but I feel what you're saying, AP. This potentially being the 2024 dream team for the USA Olympic team.
I will cut.
Well, we already know you got AD off your list. We already know that. But let's talk about the Uriah Hunters, the Mr. Wayne Wilcox, the Anthony Prices, all of y'all, even Commissioner Myers, all y'all. So there's a couple of things in which I said at first. I was like, this is a winning team initially. When I just first took a glance, I was at my daughter's school basketball game when I first saw this. And I was like, oh, that's a winning team. But then I sat back and really thought about it and looked at who was on this photo. Mind you, keep in mind, we got to, at first I was like, oh, no, we missing Giannis. We missing Embiid. We missing Joker. We missing, but they're going to play for their respective country.
Embiid is eligible to play.
Because he's a U.S. citizen? I mean, well, they all U.S. citizens, but I mean, he's got dual citizenship.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, those were, there was a few Luka, a few people that was missing, and when I said it, I thought I said something about it before realizing that they could probably play with their own teams. However, there are still some key individuals. AD won't make it to the game. We got you over AP, you right there with Trey. I'm sure that's what Trey is the first person he saw and was like, oh hell no. But there are a few individuals on here that I feel like should be questionable. I'm not saying that their game doesn't cause for them to be on here. However, I do feel like there's people that are in the league who should possibly take their position. One person on here, and Trey, I was going to say something about this. There's no way Kyrie can't be on here. There's no freaking way Kyrie's not on this list, not on this picture. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Jaylen Brown is not on this list. There's no way. There's no freaking
Me personally, I would replace Kawhi with Jaylen Brown.
A lot of people have. So let me tell you, these are the people in which I've heard, as you saw. I mean, you can't see it now, but before you see, I had comments on the side. These are the people that are in question in regards to this lineup. AD?
Yes, I agree.
AD, Kawhi.
I agree.
Zion.
I don't know about that one.
Those three were, I think, the major three who were in question, in which a lot of people felt probably shouldn't be on this list.
So
now let me hear you. Who you say, Trey? I know you, AD. I know
AD. AD and Kawhi. Honestly, After that, you might can sit up and rock with it. But when I look at this list, right? When I look at this picture and I see this squad, this, in my opinion, was more of a world champion squad. Like the team that basically gets the U.S. automatic bid because they win the world championship, which is like
the precursor. The precursor.
Yeah, so this is more. This would be a squad to run for the world championships, and then you come back, and some of these players might be on the national team for the Olympics.
Okay.
So definitely, like I said, AD, no, only because he's injury prone. Kawhi, the same reason.
Would Zion fall in that injury prone kind of because he's injured?
And I was about to say maybe Zion and Cat for the most part, but you start you do that, you start to take away like who are you going to replace them with, and that starts to be the problem.
That's where that's where the question lies.
Yeah, who's to replace it? Because, like you say, you can replace with Embiid and sit up and hope and pray that he's going to use his U.S. citizenship and play with the U.S. team instead of going back home to Cameroon and playing with that team. So, but besides that, it's like who do you start to replace these players with, or who can you run with?
Coach Wayne said if Kawhi is healthy, he's the top 3 to 5 player in the league. That's not debatable. Bam is the one in question, and Trey is young.
And Trey Young, I gotta say Trey. I just don't think Trey Young. I don't know if Trey Young.
So I feel like go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
I don't know if Trey Young's game translate to that international type game. I mean, from a standpoint of but
has he not proven himself though?
Like I'm not saying that he
last year he carried the entire Atlanta Hawks like into those playoffs, bro. Like real talk. Like let's not really shoot boo-boo on Trey. Like this dude has carried that team for a long time.
I just don't think Trey Young, no, he doesn't go on that. So and Coach Way, you're right, completely right. Kawhi, if healthy, is that dude, but he hasn't been healthy of late, and I just wouldn't put him for the sake of saying him going down. Because what happens with if he goes down during or at the beginning of the game, they're lost. It's a loss.
But then with Kawhi, that's where Jaylen Brown comes in.
That's why I said I would replace Jaylen Brown with Kawhi instead of
Jaylen Brown comes in for Kawhi.
Or you replace you just have to replace somebody, or you have to bring in if you're gonna go with Kawhi. Like I could agree with Kawhi staying, and you just bring in his replacement if something happens where it's like, oh wait, okay, we're gonna go ahead and run this person. But then you definitely have to remove Trey Young. You have to remove Anthony Davis. Bam, I'm cool with Bam. I think
Bam Adebayo. Well, because of the fact that you're removing AD and possibly Zion, you have to leave Bam. You pretty much have to leave Bam. If you removing AD and possibly Zion, you have to keep Bam there. You have to keep Bam. There's no way like you said, because if you lose an AD and Zion, where is your paint presence outside of Big Cat?
And Cat, I don't even agree with Cat on this squad. Like,
oh, you taking Cat off too?
You know what? It's like when you start looking at it more and more, I just think it's not to say just first glance. Some people on this team is just not even Ja Morant. I don't know if he's a national player.
Oh, come on, Trey. Oh, no, you will not, Trey. Oh, no, you will not, Trey. No, you will not.
And Coach Rai even said that's not Ja. That's not Ja. That's not Trey. I don't think their game translates.
I do not agree to that. I do not. So what is the difference in Ja Morant play and Kobe when he played for the Olympic team? What is the difference?
It's a lot of difference. It's a huge difference.
I'm listening.
Did you watch that Redeem Team documentary?
I know. I don't think I watched that, but I've seen. I watched Kobe play. You don't think Ja Morant could be that spark on this team for the USA? I do. I totally agree. Because
I think what we're doing is getting caught up in the fact of what they do in the United States game.
Take Donovan Mitchell off too. Go ahead, Trey. Y'all might as well erase the whole damn team. Y'all taking everybody out the squad now.
Pretty much. Because what we're doing is we're getting caught up in what they do for the American game, and we're completely omitting the fact of what the international game has become. And some of these players is not going to be able
become. What do you mean? Speak on it. When you say become,
the international game is catching up. Like think about those teams. Like we just said, you don't have Luka. Why? Because Luka's in Slovenia. Now, when Luka starts to team up with the other Slovenian players who have been playing and doing and grinding, we don't see them, but they don't mean they ain't got game. Just like we said, we're talking about how some colleges have aren't that good, but they have some excellent players. That's the same thing when you come to the national game. So yes, Luka, you still got the Spaniards are still out there. You still got the game. What's the who's Giannis? Greece. Like it's other teams that are out there that these players that would be tops that you would want to have on your squad aren't going to be on your squad because they got to play because they're playing for their countries, and their countries have dogs that can get it, and we just don't see them in the United States because they stay over at home. It starts to make a difference. So, like you said, with some of these people,
so is it safe to say right now what you're telling me, and what a lot of other people like the APs and Coach Hunters and all of them, what you're telling me currently is that with this team in which we see right currently in front of us, you feel like this team is not competitive enough to play internationally versus.
I'm not gonna say they're not competitive. I just don't think they.
Not competitive enough. Yeah. I'm not saying they're not competitive, but competitive enough.
I think what you see here in front of you is what Dream Team was when they first got together, and they got ran through by them college players.
Ooh, that's disrespectful, Trey.
That's not just. I'm just saying
that is. You talk about this team would get ran through by a college team. Wow.
Well, I'm saying they might not get ran through by a college team, but they might get ran through by someone's national team. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a bunch of players put together. Like John Morant, in my opinion, doesn't belong there. Of course, and we think he's a stellar player. Trae Young doesn't belong there. Who else?
Trae Young is questionable. Who?
Bam, I don't know. Cat, I definitely don't know. I think Cat stays on just because you have to have size, but Cat is that person. But Cat plays an international type game, but like he's having fun with it. Like he wants to step out and hit 3-pointers and all that type of stuff. Like sometimes you don't need that. So it would be a huge thing for Kevin Durant and Steph Curry. You got to think Steph Curry's never played an international game at all. Okay. Steph has never played in the Olympics.
Right, I know.
So you know what I'm saying. So you have Kevin Durant there, a la Kobe,
as
Kobe, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. Right. And then you have a bunch of others. Like there's no one else on this squad who's played in who has a gold medal. Is it or Jason Tatum?
I think Tatum played 1 year.
Cool. Yeah, so it's like I don't know, bro. I just don't. I see Coach Wayne going in on Coach Ryan, but Coach Ryan said John Morant can't shoot. He relies on athleticism heavily. His game is very one-dimensional, and to be honest, remove the athleticism, and he's not the same player at that level. Guards have to be able to shoot the ball. Coach Walcott speaks back and says LaMelo Ball can't shoot consistently, but he plays overseas since he was 16. Donovan says the team is solid. Hell no, this team is not solid. Donovan, who are you looking at? To play where? To play against Dominguez High School? Like what? Who? The team is solid, but don't be surprised if they don't win the gold or getting 1 or 2 losses. They should still win. They're not winning the gold. I don't see this as a goal with the team.
So this is what I will say, right? In regards to
bronze, maybe
what Don said in regards to this, right? We know back in the day that the USA Olympic team basketball team has been dominant back in the day. However, coming in the past 3-4 Olympics, we have been embarrassed. We have been gotten our behinds handed to us by international teams without question. I totally understand that 100%. I just don't agree with
Coach Walcott.
I don't agree. I don't agree with. I'm with you, Wayne. I don't agree with Coach Hunter. Athleticism is everything. Everybody don't have a certain type of athleticism, and you can't take that away from him. You can't. I don't care what you do. You cannot. John Morant is playing against the best NBA players in the world in the USA. So if they can't take away his athleticism, how are they gonna take it away internationally? That just don't commute. That doesn't. I can't understand that. Why? Because if it being international, they're gonna be able to take away his athleticism. I don't see that happening, in my personal opinion. John Morant, just like Wayne says, is a dog. I feel like he brings the excitement to the team. The way he plays, his athleticism is going to bring everybody's game style up to a whole nother level. And not only that, because of the simple fact we all know you're playing for your country. So it speaks volumes, just that in itself. What happened when Westbrook in his prime played at this level? Allen Iverson, it's the style. I get it. I get what you're saying, Coach Hunter. I do.
It's a style. It really is.
It is a style. I get it. However, it didn't stop the way they play. Kobe was the same dude. Trey says you can't compete. Their athleticism, when it comes to athleticism, they're basically the same. Now, yes, Kobe shoots the ball better than Ja, without question. But when it comes to attacking the rim, they're the same. They're the same. When it comes to attacking the rim, no one attacks the rim harder than like him and Kobe. Like they attack the rim almost identically the same, bro. In my opinion. Now, of course, some people may feel different, but in my opinion, yes, Kobe shoots the ball better. But when it comes to attacking and finishing, Ja is that dude. Ja is so like a shorter version. Ja's like a shorter version of how Vince Carter. Vince Carter wasn't a shooter, but what did he bring to the table when he went to the Olympics? The athleticism. They are still to this day showing him dunk over that 7-footer in the Olympics. Why?
Athleticism. Coach Wayne has a point. I think I'll put Dame on this team. Maybe even put Dame on this team before Kyrie.
Ooh, I don't know about that. Dame, I will say Dame probably does deserve to be on here. I don't know before Kyrie though. Because there's nobody on here right now on this squad that we see him right in front of us out of the 10 or 11. No one on this squad in front of us right now handles the ball better than Kyrie.
You know what? No. Coach Ryan, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, that's not, but he said it. He's like, you can't compare. You can't compare.
Listen to what I'm saying, though, Coach Hunter. I'm talking about, you spoke on athleticism. We're not talking about overall game. We're talking about athleticism. That's all I'm speaking on. When it comes to athleticism, it's the same. Him and Kobe's. So you mean to tell me, Trey, you do not believe Ja Morant's and Kobe Bryant's athleticism is on the same level?
Nah, I think for one, Ja Morant is more athletic than Kobe Bryant, but I don't think they're on the same topic.
Mind you, now keep in mind, Kobe is 6'6", Ja Morant is only 6'3".
Yeah, I think Ja is more athletic than Kobe.
I don't know about that. I think they about something on this job you were talking about. Would you play Clay on here? No. You know what? No. You know what, Anthony Price? Let me recant that. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say would you play Clay on here. I'm not gonna say no to that. No,
I think his game translates better than some of these players that's on this roster.
Who you putting Clay in front of outside of the people in which you named? Who are you putting Clay in front of? You can't act. Ooh. That's a big one right there, Trey. They have scoring firepower on this team. Curry, Durant, Mitchell, who just hit 71, and Booker, who scored 70.
Nah, it don't translate. Just my opinion. That's my opinion. It don't translate. Everyone on this roster doesn't translate to an international game. That's what they tried to do with those other dream teams and got embarrassed. It doesn't translate. And the game is better. The international game is better than what it was then.
Evan Fournier would have his way with Ja Morant at the international level. It would be the biggest mismatch. How do you feel?
It's just, it don't translate.
I mean, like I said, this was of course, this is a huge debate. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Coach Wayne.
I don't think he fully believes that, but I get what he's saying. I don't think he fully believes that. I just get what he's saying.
I'm reporting that comment. I'm with you, Coach Wayne. I agree with you. This was a huge debate yesterday when I posted this. Somebody else initially posted it, and then I posted it. I don't know if this is no, I believe it. I'm just
real. I mean, Evan Fournier's. I mean, again, he's an international player. That's in the.
I got it. So
but you know what I'm saying? He could potentially play for, I think him and Giannis play on the same team or can play on the same team. So it's just a problem.
Out of this 5, Don, out of this 5, I'm starting. Now, again, out of this 5, and we'll let Trey say his after mine. Out of this 5, of course, this is if all are healthy. But my starting 5 out of this squad right here would be AD at the 5. AD at the 5. Ooh, that 4 could go to anybody. A Bio, Big Cat, Zion. Ugh. Yeah, okay. So AD at the 5. I probably would put Big Cat at the 4. And if Kawhi's healthy, I'd have to put Kawhi at the. Golly, that's hard. That's hard. I'm not gonna lie. That's real hard. I would put KD at the 3. KD at the 3. Tatum at the 2 and Steph at the 1. That's hard, bro. Now that you asked, that's hard. That's real hard.
I'm running Steph, Booker,
2,
KD,
3,
Tatum,
4. At the 4?
No, KD's going to be the 4.
Well, put him by position so we know what you're saying.
Oh, so yeah, Steph, Booker,
okay. 1, 2,
Tatum, KD,
3, 4. Okay,
and unfortunately, AD.
Okay, AD, Durant, Kawhi, Tatum, and Steph. Okay, I like it. I like that. International game, KD and Tatum can play 4. Facts. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, totally agree. I was just asking him if that's what he's doing. He putting Tatum at the 4. Wayne says Curry at the 1, Tatum at the 2, Kawhi at the 3, KD at the 4, AD at the 5. Okay, so a lot of us got some of pretty much the same 5, starting 5. Not hard. Tatum, KD, Curry, AD, Kawhi. Okay.
Actually, so you know what?
Go ahead.
Track that. Someone's going to play out of position, but I think I'm bringing Kawhi in because you said healthy. So
right, healthy. We say all 11 of these are healthy. No injuries, no nothing. They completely healthy. Clean bill of slate. No problems, no issues. Booker is valuable given his ability to shoot. Where does Ja and Mitchell fit, fellas? They riding a bit. See, that's why it was hard for me, Coach Hunter, because I'm not gonna lie. But just think about it, them coming off the bench, Ja and Donovan. Woo! You talking about athleticism and both of them coming off the bench? Bruh. I mean, I get it, but man, that
for me, they riding the bench back in the United States. They even make the trip.
What? But that's Donovan and boy. See, y'all please, y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all excuse my.
But it's just because it's hard. Like we still say, it's just some people need to replace. It just in state. Jaylen Brown ain't on the roster.
Jaylen Brown is not. I'm taking Jaylen over both of them. Over Donovan.
Yes.
No.
In the international game, yes.
I love Jaylen Brown, but I'm not replacing Donovan and Ja with him. I'm not. Now
Donovan doesn't belong out there either. It's like it's a lot of people, but some of them I just don't think it's going to translate to the international game.
I like Jaylen Brown. I'm not gonna lie. I like him a lot. Chris Middleton, you're right. That's another one. I totally agree with that. Chris Middleton is a definitely, when he's healthy, he's a force. Defensively, offensively, yes. Chris Middleton, I totally agree with you on that one. I do. It's just hard, man. And now you see why the debate goes on. Again, this was something that was just put out yesterday, a picture of what possibly we could see in the 2024 season. Of course, our 2024 Olympic Games, however, it could, a lot could change. we got these rookies that's coming up playing, like he said, who it could be some. Are they still putting one college player in? Is that still a thing?
You know what?
I think one college player got to go.
It's not a thing. I mean, they might have a college player or invite a college player to the camp, and he has to earn that position or show that he has that ability. So I'm not sure. I don't think it's a definite anymore.
Okay. Yeah, but
that was the last time we saw a college player that was like that was what's his name?
Not even just DeMar. Where's what you call too? Not just DeMar, Anthony. Where's for the Bulls? Not for the Bulls, for the Heat.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler should be in that lineup too. Jimmy Butler should definitely be considered. Jimmy B, there's no way Jimmy B shouldn't be considered in this either. So it's a few people who are missing out that picture, without question.
So
there's a few people that's missing.
To bring up hold on. To bring up the next hold on. Where is it at? Why is it not coming up?
Yeah, Jimmy Butler should be in there. Some people may even say golly, I can't think of nobody's name right now. CP3 wasn't in there. The fake point guard. Yeah, CP3 wasn't in there. Chris Paul. Neither was Kawhi's teammate. Golly, I am having brain farts with names today. CP3 wasn't in there. Neither was man, I can't even think of people today. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Anyway, it's people missing. We do know that.
Hold on.
Let me show y'all something else that was used. This was a while ago, but this was major controversy too. Somebody posted this. Somebody sent this to me, and I know you're gonna dig this, but I know y'all feel me on this. Where was it at? Hold on, let me find it. Was it in this? Or wait. Oh shoot, we done lost him. We done lost him for everyone. We lost him. He'll be back. Was it this one? No, that one isn't. There you go. He's back. He's back. He must hit the wrong button. I can't find this thing either.
No, I had to do that too. So while you're doing that, you bring this up. Let's see. Is there what the blood clot?
What the blood clot, man?
One second.
Yeah. Why was that sent to me? I thought it was sent to me on Facebook, but I guess it wasn't. I guess it wasn't sent to me on Facebook, but I could have swore it was, but maybe it wasn't. Either way.
What was that?
My phone at?
Okay, there we go. So I asked this question. So of course the NBA voting for the plan started. Actually started already. And they already came out with the voting first vote, which for the fans, and this is where we're at. Basically, do you agree with the?
No.
What do you have to say about this? Right. So when it comes down to it, the currently LeBron and Kevin Durant lead the fan votes for the Eastern or West as the top vote getter currently. Of course, for the backcourt, you have if this was to be the be all say all do all, you basically be looking at the backcourt. The backcourt would be LeBron, Nikola Jokic, and Anthony Davis for the West. Steph Curry and Luka Doncic for the West would be the guards. For the East, Kyrie Irving and Donovan Mitchell will be the guards. Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or Joel Embiid. Stop it, guy. That's not. I don't know how you get a wolf out of that. That doesn't know.
As the front court? Are you serious? None of the Western front court can fool with the Eastern front court.
Stop playing.
Are you freaking serious, bro? You do not believe that, bro. You mean to tell me the Western's front court can mess with the Eastern's front court?
Yes.
LeBron cannot hold Kevin. Joker damn sure ain't gonna hold down Giannis, and Anthony Davis against Joel Embiid. Stop it, Trey. Stop it. You do not stop it, Trey. Stop it. Stop it, bro. You be on one, bro. Hey, tomorrow you got your analysis. You going to have your analysis.
My job does not require me to partake of your analysis.
Bro, this dude here, you are crazy, man.
What's good, AJ? What's going on, brother? Glad to have you.
LB, what's good? Hey, man, LB, look at this. Look at this, man. This dude right here, man. Oh, our frat brother right here, man. He has the audacity to say that the Western Conference front court is better and is better than the Eastern Conference front court. We know that you play basketball, LB. Do you agree to that comment, or does anyone agree to that comment?
And then, but so what? As they toil over that, when you go a little bit in depth,
no, Don, no, we're not going. Oh well, by this, yes, we do know he will probably.
So then you bring up Zion Wilson to be the next person, or technically he gets replaced by whoever they decide. But of course, when you go further down the line, I'm glad to see Austin Reeves, LA Laker, is in the top 10 of guards.
That's bogus.
Who else we got here? I don't know. Someone brought up the question is like Andrew Wiggins has more votes than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Klay Thompson, Russell Westbrook, Dame Dash, and all of them. So this being said is that the fans can mess up stuff as well sometimes. Like some of these people probably
fans out there like you who believe the Western Conference front court is better than the Eastern Conference front court. That's why. There you're right. There's fans like yourself who believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Andrew.
You know what?
Andrew Wiggins ain't no joke though. You act. Whoever said that, like Andrew Wiggins is that dude. Like y'all sleeping on Andrew. Andrew Wiggins is that dude. I ain't gonna lie.
So that's perspective of what is the reason for the All-Star game? It's for the brightest and best players for the year.
Right.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is balling out. He shouldn't. So that's what they're saying. Like he shouldn't. Why is he not getting more votes? He's only at 9. He's not even at 1 million votes. Ja Morant isn't at 1 million votes. But you say Andrew Wiggins is deserving to be an all-star with over 1 million votes from a front court. That's where it starts to get a little
because everybody's done behind voting for this dude who's number 1 on the front court for the Western Conference. That's why. If they took some of them votes away from the dude who
you vote for every position. So that means 3 million people will have voted for LeBron James, and in that same breath, they probably voted for Ja Morant or Andrew Wiggins in that same breath as a front court. So somehow, somewhere in there, somewhere's taking one of those positions because I voted and I sit up and of course I voted for the same ones that's the top ones right now, Steph and Luka for a front court, but you can go back and vote every day. So people can be going back and forth and saying, hey, this is what's going on. But for Ja Morant, for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to be only at 900,000, the dude has been balling out of control. Like he's He's deserving of an all-star to be an all-star this year. If any, I mean, he's definitely deserving to be an all-star this year, as well as Laurie Markkanen. He's deserving to be an all-star this year.
But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact on what team he plays for.
Dude from San Antonio deserving to be an all-star this year. You know what I'm saying? They're all-stars for their team.
I think it's because of who they play for. West will outscore the East backcourt.
Thank you. Oh, the backcourt. He's talking about backcourt.
Oh, backcourt, yes. Yes.
Steph,
Luka, and Ja probably will, because James Harden and Donovan, it'll be close, but I think that might be possible. Yeah, because Luka's gonna be hard to
today. You know what I say should be Bond, because today
I can't say nothing because, like I said, I used to be a Roku, so I ain't gonna be. I'm not going.
Today is the day of the Roku.
I'm not gonna hate on it.
Roku's all over the world as they speak. Everyone should listen.
I don't know about all that, but either way. When does the voting stop? It's in Utah this year.
Yeah, it's the All-Star Games in Utah this year. So I think what's going to go on next next is supposed to go to the
what up?
Go on to the next vote or whatever case like that. So transition a little, right? Moving on into the NFL, because we got about 30 minutes, so we are very short. There's plenty to talk about the NFL. As yesterday they talked about what the outcome would be. Bishop, early congratulations. Because as of right now,
there is no as of right now. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is.
As of right now, maybe only because
maybe only because
you can get a chance to play. As of right now, you are the first formation fantasy football
champion, baby. Champion.
As of right now.
Ain't no as right now. That's what it is, bro. That is what it is.
Right now, you're holding on to that aspiration.
And
additionally, it just so happened that AJ gets on in our fraternity one. Currently, he is the champion, but in the NFL.com fantasy, they're holding currently, and they're waiting for some things to formally say this is what it's going to be. But for the most part, he is out by a landslide. But hurt. He's winning by a landslide. But they
I was on mine. I'm winning by a landslide on mine too. Though.
But he had three important players from Cincinnati. So Coach Parrish had a possibility. He had a possibility of catching you.
But what it is, I'm the champ too in first formation.
So right now you are hurt.
Ain't no right. I'm the champ.
It says they are holding, so they haven't made it official yet. So
they haven't made it official. How they ain't made it official? That game has been canceled. The game has been canceled. That game has been canceled.
Yeah, but they haven't. The NFL hasn't validated the points yet. So it says if you go on there, it clicks and says that they're holding the points, and they have to validate. Go back through a validation of the points, and they're going to see. So I don't know if they're going to remove points or they're going to take, because it wasn't a complete game. So they might remove those points from the score. So I don't know what's going on.
It don't matter. I am the winner. I am the winner, and still. Like all you haters out there, I told y'all this dude. This I'm that dude, man. Let's go. Let's freaking go. First off, though, but before we get excited and celebratory and all of that, let's first say that Damar Hamlin, they have removed the tube from his. They have removed the breathing tube, and he is breathing on his own and is speaking. So, mad shouts out to all the prayer warriors out there for singing prayers up for Damar Hamlin. He's doing so much better. If you've heard from one of the first questions, which lets you know that his mind is in the right state, his first question to the doctors was, "Who won the game?" And they said he won. They told him he won the game. He won the game of life. They're giving mad props to the coaching staff, the gentleman who actually saved that man's life, who actually provided CPR for this man on the field, because they said if it was probably somewhere else or it happened somewhere else, that man probably would not be here. And I'm talking about DeMar Hamlin. So mad shouts out to coach in athletic trainer or I don't even know what his position is, but Denny Kellington, you are the MVP, sir. You are the MVP. He is the man who provided CPR on DeMar when his body fell limp onto the field. So mad shouts to that. Hopefully a speedy recovery. They running more tests. They checking on all types of things like his speech and stuff like that coming up within the next day or two to see how things are. But yes, it's amazing to see. It sounds like we need to put a asterisk on this season, bubble season. But great news about DeMar. There ain't no asterisk. We ain't putting no asterisk on this season. Anyway, yes,
so
DeMar Hamlin is doing well.
And of course, like you said, we all saying everyone gives their players and everything in reference to that recovery. Still does not know what the outcome potentially would be because he still has a lot to go on. He's still considered to be in a critical condition, critically ill. As far as his football career, that's in question still for the most part because he has to recover. So what you can presumably say and see is that he's probably going to be on the mend for the rest of the year. He's probably just going to be a fixture, even if not at home, at the games on the sideline, and probably be celebrated and probably be the wing beneath the wings of the Buffalo Bills, and as they're probably going to say the rest of the season's for him, in which is a slippery slope. So to read the entirety of the situation that's going on as far as the games, because there's some certain implications, like we just seen Anthony Price is like they screwed the Ravens, maybe not. However, we do know that means that the Ravens most likely are going to not be able to win their division. That division belongs to Cincinnati. So it says the NFL announced today that the 17-week, which was yesterday, the week 17 Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals game will not be resumed and has been canceled. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell informed all clubs of his decision earlier yesterday after speaking with the Bills and Bengals NFL Association leadership. This has been a very difficult week. Roger Goodell said, we continue to focus on the recovery of DeMar Hamlin and encouraged by the improvement of his conditions, as well as the tremendous outpouring of support and care of DeMar and his family from across the country. We are incredibly appreciative of the amazing work and the medical personnel and commend each and every one of them. Among the key factors in arriving to this decision, not playing the Buffalo-Cincinnati game to its conclusion will have no effect on which clubs qualify for the postseason. No club would qualify for the postseason, and no club will be eliminated based on the outcome of the game. So that's the first thing. It will require postponing the start of the playoffs for 1 week, thereby affecting all 14 clubs that qualify for the postseason play. Making the decision prior to week 18 is consistent with our competitive principles and enables the clubs to know their playoff possibilities prior to playing the final weekend of the regular season game. As we know, the Baltimore Ravens need to know that information because they need to understand if we don't have a chance to win the division, we can maybe do differently. Maybe they can rest. Currently, we don't. There's no understanding if Lamar Jackson is going to play. Well, he's not going to play. He's most likely not going to play tomorrow. Correct. And not going to play on Sunday. So now they have to look in consideration, like, do we just rest Lamar? Do we bless Huntley? Because Huntley's our starting quarterback right now. Do we just sit up and put him off and let someone else play? Like, they have a whole bunch of decisions to make. Going further, canceling a game between the Bills and the Bengals creates potential competitive inequities in certain playoff scenarios. In an effort to mitigate those inequities, NFL clubs will consider tomorrow in a special legacy. So today they're meeting a special league meeting in resolution recommended by the commissioner and approved today by the competition committee, consisting of 2 elements. The first element being the AFC Championship game will be played at a neutral site if the participating teams played an unequal number of games and both could have been the number 1 seed and hosted the game had all the AFC clubs played in a full 17-game regular season. Those circumstances involve the Buffalo or Cincinnati qualifying for the games as a road team as listed below. Buffalo and Kansas City both win and they're both tie. The Buffalo versus Kansas City championship game would be at a neutral site. Buffalo and Kansas City both lose and Baltimore wins or ties. The Buffalo and Kansas City game championship game will be at a neutral site. Scenario 3, the Buffalo and Kansas City both lose and Cincinnati wins. The Buffalo and Cincinnati versus Kansas City championship game will be at a neutral site. And only one other element: the Baltimore defeats Cincinnati week 18. It will have defeated Cincinnati, a divisional opponent, twice, and will be able to host a playoff game because Cincinnati will have a higher winning percentage for a 16-game schedule than Baltimore will at a 17-game schedule. If Baltimore defeats Cincinnati, and if those two clubs are scheduled to play a wild card game against one another, the site for the game will be determined by a coin toss. If Cincinnati wins the week 18 game, or the Baltimore and Cincinnati are not scheduled to play one another in the wild card round, the game sites will be determined by the regular scheduling procedures. As we consider the football schedule, our principles have to be to eliminate or limit disruption across the league and minimize the competitive inequities, Goodell said. I recognize that there is no perfect solution. The proposal we are asking for ownership to consider, however, addresses the most significant potential inequity, equitable issues created by the difficulty but necessary decision to play the game under extraordinary circumstances. Of course, there needs to be a 3/4 vote in this case. Bishop, do you agree with this, or do you think there could have been a better way for this to have happened? You're muted.
No, I think the outcome is what it is, man. I don't need. Me personally, I don't think. In my opinion, I don't think they could have played that game. I really don't think.
Yeah, definitely not. It was no way possible.
I don't care that there's no way that game could have been played, in my opinion. And that's just not saying because of the fact of the outcome of how fantasy went. It's just, to me, I just feel like there was no way that because of what had transpired, there was just no way for them to really play that game, because I feel like that still would have been on every mind, every player's heart and mind during that game. It just would have been unfair for both teams in any aspect. Here's the gentleman who the trainer who basically saved Damar Hamlin's life. Denny, I think his name is Denny. What is his name? Let me make sure I get his name right, because I do not want to mess up this man's name. Denny Killington. Denny Killington is his name. He is the man who provided CPR for Damar Hamlin while he was on the field. So, again, all the praise and, of course, the glory goes to God. But, of course, it wasn't without God giving him the ability to perform those acts on Damar is why Damar is still here. So shouts out to him. Salute.
Without a doubt. So now we have it to where now we know basically Cincinnati is the division champion. So they're the second seed currently. They're the third seed. To where it pushes the Ravens to the fifth seed for the most part. Fourth seed will be the winner between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans, which we'll get to our picks in a second for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the spectrum, however, there's implications, or hopefully, chances are, Bishop, is a good possibility that Jalen Hurts starts. Is that necessary?
Absolutely necessary.
Right.
Absolutely necessary. But I do know yesterday when I wasn't on the show because of trying to get my pool stuff squared away. I meant to apologize about that earlier, but yeah, I did see that they were really talking about Jalen was limited at practice on Wednesday.
Yes, he was.
He did not have a full practice on Wednesday. So there was a possibility that he may not play this weekend. I haven't heard anything outside of that. So but you telling me that's new news to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's
I didn't
trending.
know
Sorry, he's trending in
that
playing.
he. Oh, okay. So, in which Nick Sirianni did say, things could change in a day or two. So he definitely wasn't ruled out for this weekend's game. They were saying it was a possibility that he possibly could not play. But in my opinion, again, like I've stated, and I'm standing by it, when it's all said and done, for me, I say play him.
They don't need him.
Again,
Nah.
yes, we do need him. You don't listen to Trey, because this is the same dude. I don't need him against such and such, and we lost. So we don't need him against the Saints.
Come out.
Yeah, we need this dude, and I feel like I said, he doesn't have to play the entire game. We do not. We do need we need him for the first seed. Yes, we do. If you do not have to play him the entire game. Yeah, why don't we need the first seed? Because y'all need it? No, absolutely not. Mm-mm.
We don't need the first seed either.
Why not?
We're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to win the Super Bowl as a third or second seed team. I'm good.
Who going to win the Super Bowl?
The San Francisco 49ers. Quest for 6.
You really don't believe that, bro. You really don't believe that y'all finna win the Super Bowl, man. You don't believe that. Y'all not coming out there. Man, stop it. Anywho, the question was, do we need Jalen? Yes, we need him. We do not need to play him the entire game. However, let's get the lead and let's bring. Yes, I have seen that, Anthony, that the Giants are sitting key players. Also, for you Cowboy fans, they're saying that they're not going to start their starters either.
Not wise. Go ahead and get these dubs when they as best they can. Additionally, the Jets went ahead. Joe Flacco gets to start. Wilson is still laboring. I mean, not Wilson. White is still laboring. Wilson is going to be sat down so he can focus on getting better for 2023, as he is still a second drafted player, first round, second draft pick of just 2 years ago. So you have to take that in consideration. So Wilson will continue to work towards getting better for the following season. Joey Flacco will get to play as the Jets would need to win or even have a chance. Or have they been eliminated? Did the Jets get eliminated?
No, I don't think so. That's what I'm trying to see.
But they definitely need to win to stay viable. Let me see. I have it here.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah, the Jets are eliminated.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. But they can play with the win. They can play spoiler.
I thought they were still in the hunt.
No, they eliminated. Sure? Yeah, they eliminated. Matter of fact, they got eliminated with the did they lose? Yeah, they're going. They're out of there.
The 49ers will be there with them. Don't worry. They'll have
yeah, I'll get there before we will.
No, we won't. We will not. No, we will not. That will not happen.
They should have never gave you money. We're good. I'm not going to even entertain the policies.
You hoping y'all good. That's what you hoping.
I know we're good.
You hoping y'all good. That's what you.
Y'all will leave before we will.
Negative, Batman. Negative. That is a negative, Ghost Rider.
I make this profession of the day of the Roku.
It's not important for some teams, but it is important for others. You're right about that, AP. But it's not important for everybody. But you're right. For certain teams, it is. We need that. We need that. We want that first round bye. Rest Jalen some more and allow us to go ahead and.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to rest.
Keep that path to the Super Bowl, baby. Keep that path to the Super Bowl.
So real quick, let's get into this. So currently, as for this season is going, our regular season, I know we tend to split our picks through the regular season and the postseason. Currently in the regular season, Bishop is 3.5 games ahead of me. Wait, hold up.
This is week 18 is the last week of this is back to week 1 where all the teams are playing this weekend. Every team is playing. There's no more buys, no more nothing. All the teams are playing this weekend.
Last week, Bishop 9-6, myself 9-6, Ryan 12-3.
9-6.
Yeah, we both went 9-6 because there wasn't a last game played.
Wait, week 17. I thought. Wait, where's week 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I picked the Cowboys.
You picked the Cowboys.
One.
You picked Arizona lost. You picked Miami lost. You picked Philadelphia lost.
3 losses.
You picked Minnesota, Los Angeles Rams, and Baltimore. All of them lost.
You're right. That's right. You're right.
9-6.
Okay, so go ahead. You were saying?
So this week, so Ron is out front, but you know what I'm saying? So you're in front of me. I have to just catch the
how many games out? 3.5.
I mean,
3.5. 3.5, right?
I think you're 3.5. Hold on. Let me look at the week before. Let's see something. Equal 91 equals 43. 52 and 97.
It should have been whatever it was the week before if we both went 9-6.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm trying to make sure I got the right score for the week before. 135. 143. 93. Yeah, you're up. Actually, you're up a game, half game ahead of me.
A half a game.
Well, not to you, because we're tied. We have the same. We tied at the wins, but you have more. I have more. I have 2 more losses than you do. So that's what your game ahead of me.
So I went from 3.5 games to a 1 game ahead of you now.
Well, no, because the numbers you can match. So I had to go make sure I had my math right. So when I went back and make the math right, you're currently overall you're 152 and 97. I'm 152 and 91.
How's that? We all called the same game, so how's that?
Wait, hold up.
That makes no sense. That means there's 6 games that you.
No, I've always been 2 games ahead because you and Ryan both missed 2 games in which y'all didn't make a pick for. So I've always had 2 more games. I've always had 2 more games that there wasn't a pick made for. I made a pick, whether I got it wrong. So evidently I got the pick wrong. So that's what puts me. If we even won, y'all would be the same or we would be different. But I've always had 2 games. In this case, those 2 games are hurting me because you can assimilate. I've got those 2 games in which I picked wrong. But there's 2 games in which we all didn't have the same amount of picks. So that's what it is. I'm 2 games in which you didn't pick.
You had 97. You had 97.
Yeah, we have the same win record, but I'm 2 losses behind you, which puts me back behind the game. So I'm a game behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, 135, 80. Yeah, so I'm a game behind you. So because we had the same pick last week. So with that being said, first game, of course, you got 2 games on Saturday, being tomorrow, Chiefs and Raiders. Bishop, do you think the Las Vegas Raiders are able to pull it out with the cars benched?
Do I think who?
The Las Vegas Raiders.
No, I'm going with the Chiefs.
in the effort to catch you. This ain't gonna be the game I want to do it on, but I will sit up and do that soon. Titans and Jaguars. Do you keep
Jags.
your? Yeah,
I'm taking Jags.
yeah. This is another one which I can't do. The Browns and the Steelers.
I'm gonna go with the Browns.
I'm going with Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm going with the Browns.
Bengals and Ravens.
Cincy.
Oh,
Lamar's not playing. I'm going with Cincy.
I wonder if Burrow going to play. There's nothing to play for at this point. They're the division champions. The Vikings and the Bears. You know,
who'd you pick?
I picked Cincinnati.
Okay.
Vikings and the Bears. I know. Justin Fields is going to play.
No, he's not playing.
But do you believe in the Minnesota to close it out?
After they got thrashed, yeah, I think Minnesota get this one.
The Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. We know this is probably be a close game.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you answer?
No. I'm going with. I'm going with the Bills because they're gonna be playing on emotion. What's up, Leslie? I'm going with the Bills because they definitely gonna be playing for tomorrow. So I'm taking the Bills at home.
Same here, Buffalo. I'm going with Buffalo. The Dolphins and the Jets. Joe Flacco back in Super Bowl quarterback. Joe Flacco.
Yeah, I feel like Joe gonna show some things. I'm taking Miami.
I am too. Even though we don't know who's starting, that's the part they don't know if it's going to be Skylar Thompson or if it's going to be Teddy Bridgewater, Teddy Broken Finger. But Miami, I think in any case, Miami over Flacco. Next game, the Buccaneers and the Falcons.
I'm taking Tom, the Goat Brady. The Goat Brady.
Likewise, the Saints and the Panthers.
Boy. Even though the Saints struggled last week, Zach taking the Bills, the Dolphins in Tampa. We give me the Saints at home.
I'm taking Carolina.
Okay.
Those might be the separators. The Texans and the Colts. Ooh.
Trash bowl.
Games.
Damn trash bowl. Give me the. That's so crazy. These two trash teams, bro. Like. And the Texans, didn't they get thrashed last week like bad? 31-3 at home. 31-3 at home. Like, what in the world? And then those got thrashed by the Giants 38-10. These two teams scored 10 points in 8 quarters. Good Lord. Golly, bro. Both of them played on the road, though. Yeah. No, Texans played at home. And so they playing on the road in I'm gonna take the Colts. Give me the Colts, man.
Taking the Colts. I'm taking Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, San Francisco 49ers and the Cardinals.
49ers.
You sure you want to do that?
Yeah. Come on, man. Kyler ain't playing.
Cowboys and the Commanders.
I'm going with the Commanders.
What?
Mm-hmm. I'm going with the Commanders.
Going with the Cowboys. You making this easy for me.
Mm-hmm. I want it to be easy.
The Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams.
Give me them Rams.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Good.
Let me see. Next up. The Giants and the Eagles.
Give me them, them beloved EAGLES Eagles.
I want the Eagles too, but I'm cheering for the Giants. Actually,
I don't care who you cheering for. You I don't care who you cheering for.
The Chargers and the Broncos.
The Chargers and the Broncos. Didn't Wilson win last week?
He turned up.
No, they didn't. He didn't win. They lost. They lost to the Chiefs. I thought they won, but he had a good.
He turned up. He had a good game.
Yeah, he had a good. And then the Chargers, they beat the brakes off the Rams. Give me the Chargers.
Likewise, I'm taking the Chargers. In the last game of the night, the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers. Who are you going with? I know
that
who I got.
Man. I'm going with that bad man and Aaron Rodgers, man.
Really?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to take him back. I think this is a game to where if Green Bay wins, they get in.
That's right.
But I think them Lions is going to roar.
Okay.
I think the Lions are going to roar. I'm taking the Lions. I think the Lions get him in Lambeau.
Not in Lambeau, they not.
I think the Lions get it done in Lambeau.
Not in Lambeau, they not.
Detroit all the way. So I just gotta get Ron and see what his picks are. You know what? One thing we can say, Bishop, all of us are at 60% pick radius this year.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So you know what I'm saying? That's not bad. See, out of those games. But you know what? I want to make my money like I did last year. What started out, I'm not going to do what I did last year and fold at the last second. I'm just going to keep my mindset and just be able to get those picks in and pick the right picks for the postseason. It all starts tomorrow.
That part, because we got 2 games on tomorrow.
2 games tomorrow, and the other 14 on Sunday.
Yep, 2 games tomorrow. 3:30.
9.5 points.
Big fight this weekend too.
Who's fighting this week?
Devontae.
Davis. They were heading. So they are going to have a fight.
Wow,
they talking about potentially cancel because he had went to jail.
Who, Devontae? Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't hear that. So I don't know. Maybe I didn't hear about that part.
Yeah, he went to jail for domestic violence.
I knew about that. But I didn't know he had went to jail for it. I didn't know they had got him.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate you, Zach.
He posted bail.
Oh yeah. Oh, I did see he posted bail. I did.
It was only $1,000. So
yeah.
But the lady, the girl, the accuser came back and said, I think she said she was the reason or something like that. So trap game. Oh yeah.
I hear you, Africa. I hear you. But I don't see the Raiders losing to the Chiefs, man. I don't see the Chiefs losing to the Raiders.
Let's go, Big Blue Giants. Let's go.
Man. Especially if Jalen out there. Jalen out there, we taking it to the house, baby. Y'all better hope y'all don't see the number 1 on the field.
I want to see Thibodeau doing angels next to Jalen.
He won't be doing that. He won't be doing that. Won't be no angels over there. What's the status with Bill Hamlin? Hamlin. He's they removed his breathing tube. He's breathing on his own, Leslie. He's doing great. They're looking at he's speaking and everything. They're gonna run some more tests today, but he's in good spirits and he's doing good. He's doing real good for now. He's still like Trey said, he's still considered in critical condition, but the removal of the breathing tube and him breathing on his own is great signs.
So with that, on that being said, we up out of here. We appreciate y'all rocking with us. Be sure to tap in with us Monday morning as we go over and start to look to the next week. Does Philadelphia win? Do they claim one national championship? You get our picks. I think Bishop is asserting that TCU is going to get it done. We never know what happened and go into a little depth, but y'all know where to find us and where it's at. Mondays mornings, Fridays mornings, right here. We'll see y'all. Bishop, any last words, brother?
Man, y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Y'all be safe, be blessed, hug and love on someone. Be thankful. We are not first formation if it wasn't for all of y'all. Y'all have a great one, great weekend. Be blessed. And like he said, we'll see y'all on Monday. Stay tuned. give y'all our national championship pick between TCU and Georgia. Y'all have a good one.
Day of the rope.
Cyro 5 military fraternity in. Corp ready. Y'all be peace. It is rope.